What's going on, guys? At the range today with another new piece from HK. HK is just killing it recently with the releases. Here we are back with the brand new G36 22. Alright guys, so they finally released, and I think it's been talked about for a little while, or speculated at least, the G36 22. Why this is cool is because if you remember some years ago, this has been very many years ago, Walther was licensed by HK to produce the MP5 22, the MP5 SD 22, and the G36 22. Now, if you're an old schooler like me, maybe you have one of the old Walther ones. And then since HK in the past few years have released the MP5 versions, the 416s, and now finally again, the G36 22. So let's talk about some of the highlights of this thing and why, even if you have one of the old Walther ones, why this one is still a cool pickup. Guys, a friend of the channel, Monadnock Firearms, link to their Instagram will be in the description. They're hooking it up with a disco. Steve MP5 will help you out over there. Do yourself a favor, show some love, check out the website, save yourself some cash. All right, so we're over here at the table because I want to point out a few things and why this is a cool one over the Walther, if you may have that Walther one. Here is my Walther version. Now, you may notice it has something a little fun on the end here. This is a clone of the G36 AG36 launcher. This is a functioning launcher, but is a replica. It is non-operable for actual real 40mm stuff. We're gonna go into a little bit of that, but I did a whole video on this, so check that out, I'll link it. But basically, essentially, the Walther G36 22 and the new HK G36 22, essentially the same. But what the Walther came with from the factory was a G36K handguard. So it was the incorrect handguard meant for the smaller K version of the G36. It still was cool. This is the actual one from the Walther. So it comes with the sling loop and the ability to put your pick rails on the top or the sides and the bottom. That's the updated version of the K handguard. The original OG versions of the G36, when the G36 first came out, came with the smooth side, full length G36 handguard. So you'll notice there's no Picatinny attachment points on the sides and on the bottom. It's just smooth. G36E being the full length G36. These shipped with an 18-inch barrel, if I'm not mistaken, on the Walthers and on the G36, the new HK version. So it is 18-inch barrel on these guys. What I did was I put on, the correct G36 bipod to kind of, outfit it and complete the look. Now, that's another key point to the HK G36 and the Walther as well, is you can put real G36 accessories on the gun. So what I've done is, this is the one that it came with, right? This is a G36 bipod, goes right on. Now, what you could also do, and what I've done here, is this gun will not ship with the dual optic. I've put this on there. It'll ship with the standard G36 Low Pro top pick rail, like the standard OEM, what it comes with, which is what you'll see is on my Walther. That came with the Walther as well. Now, if you have a bunch of money laying around and maybe you already have a G36 dual optic, you can go ahead and buy one and put one on there. It'll go right on, mount right on, just like a regular G36. Now, what I've done and opted to do on my 22 versions of the G36s is many of the airsoft replica parts are so close that they will fit with no modifications, if some very light modifications. This is an airsoft dual carry handle G36, but it does function as a ×3 and a red dot. You're probably thinking, Steve, it's probably junk, crap quality. I will say the red dot on this guy is not very bright, but it's usable. Okay, the ×3 glass in here surprisingly is very clear. So I figured I'm gonna trick out my G36 and I'm gonna put a replica OG carry handle and bipod on it to give it that old school G36 look. And to me, a G36 is not a G36 without the dual optic carry handle. Now, I do have a real carry handle that's on my real G36, real as in 5.56, but I just wanted to show the option that you can do a lot with the 22 because not very many people are out there, whether they know that they can get a, USA made clone G36 build, whether it's a parts, SL8 donor, or just something like a Tommy build or other companies that are on the market selling G36 clones. It's a lot of money, it's expensive. And parts, like real G36 parts, are expensive. So if you just want to have some fun and plink, go to the range, have some fun, maybe you got some young kids, want to shoot some 22s, 22 is the way to go. It's so much fun. Tactical 22s are even better. And it's just something that you can do, have a lot of fun with. I want to quickly show that this is a full-length G36 Handguard G36E, full size. You can always tell because the full size has 6 slots. The K has 4 slots, which is what you see here. And then the C, the shortest version of the G36, has the 2-slot handguard. I wanted to say and show you that this here is a replica G36 full-size handguard, but this does have the later update for adding Picatinny rails on it. So if you wanted to get this G36 and it comes with the original OG smooth side, smooth bottom handguard, you could pick up one of these, whether it's real HK or replica, and pop it right on, no problem, and it fits. Before I move on and shoot the 22, I just want to at least show you, so this is the real deal 5.56 G36. This is all tricked out. This does have the real optic, dual carry handle optic on the top. It does have the OG Surefire integrated lighted handguard on it, which is pretty cool. Has the blue searchlights, which I've heard are the most rare. They were white and red. Blue, I believe, is the most rare of the versions for whatever reason. And an updated or LED light on the top to give me just better lumen capability. I just wanted to show you, so anything on this could be thrown directly on the 22. It's really cool that there is that compatibility, even though most people aren't going to take real G36 stuff and put it on a 22. The option is there should you want to mess around with it, customize it, and just trick it out, which is most of the fun of these guns. All right, so this will ship with one 20-round mag, which is what's in here now. HK does sell on their web shop the 30-rounders, so you can get those. 30 round is going to be a little longer because it's single stack 22, but 30 rounds is always fun as well. All right, so it's worth noting that all of these, whether it's a 22 or the G36 versions from Walther, Umrex, HK, will say high velocity 22. The manual probably says high velocity 22. I think in all the years that I've owned any of these 22s, and I've not shot this yet, this will be first shots, they've never had any problem cycling standard velocity, and that's mainly what I run. So if it runs standard velocity, you're going to run high velocity, but I've never had a problem with any of them running standard velocity. So that's what's in here now, CCI standard velocity, so 1077 feet per second. And if there's a hiccup, we'll go high velocity, but I don't anticipate there being a hiccup. Take some shots. Let's run this bad boy. 22s are so much fun. Is that tinging coming across for you? Just like a real G36 and any of the things that have the full-length tines, prongs, you get that ting that the full size gets, and I'd never really noticed that before on the other one, but I think that's pretty cool. All 20 rounds, no problem. Bolt locks open on the last round because it is 22. Something else to note, there is no paddle mag release similar to the Walther version if you have that. No paddle mag, so old school button mag release there. Still have got, you know, the ambi safety selector on both sides. What is different on this one than on the Walther is the line right here on the switch itself is not painted white. On the other one, it's painted white. Not a big deal, but a small difference. So as you can imagine, and as this is first shots, this is not sighted in, so I'm way low, as to be expected, as I'm like, you know, 5 inches over bore on this guy, maybe more. But it's still very cool. Let's take some more shots from the bipod position and see how it goes. Guys, that's really it. I mean, this was kind of like a first look, first shots of the G36 22, new release by HK, and some of the cool features, the key highlights. You can change out real G36 furniture, fore ends, stocks, optics, all of that stuff will fit if you have a real G36 or want to buy a G36 parts. But also something to save you some money is airsoft parts or non-firearm grade parts will also fit on this. This is airsoft grade, works perfectly fine on it. Bipod, again, airsoft. Cool factor of what this gives you is just awesome. All right, guys, don't forget, Steve MP5 on the Instagrams. I'll see you next time.